I have got a PhD in life. I'm spending my whole weekend in my pajamas and I'm not doing shit. You don't pay my bills or suck my dick. So like, what do I care what some random person on the internet thinks of me? And new year, new me, you gotta have some fun. God, Tim, everything you touch just like is amazing. And I want to tell that person, no the fuck it's not. I'm only trying to make one fucking person happy, and that's Tim Castleman.
What up, everybody? It's Tim Castleman, and welcome to another episode of Tim Talks, and boy, am I in a mood. I have been in a mood lately, but right now I am in a funk. I am in a mood. Not even a funk. I think it's borderline rage is kind of where I'm getting to the point at. It's to the point where I'm mad as hell, and I'm just going to take it again and again and again, because that's what we do as Americans, right? I'm recording this to a little context on the same day where it has just been announced that 14 school-age children have been murdered and massacred by another fellow student. This is a week or two after 10 African-American customers were gunned down at a grocery store. And the great thing about all of this is nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. We've already got thoughts and prayers by our political leaders out there, thanking our first responders and our police. We've already got people, I'm praying, thinking for you. But what we don't have is anybody going, hey, how many dead children are enough? How many? What is the number we got to get to? Just tell me so we can have massacre after massacre after massacre after massacre, so we can get to that number to where people finally go, maybe, just maybe, civilians don't get the option to purchase military-grade weapon. Or maybe we limit it to 7 shots. You see, if your house is being intruded upon, hopefully it's by one person. If your house is being intruded on by 8 people, yes, I get it. You're fucked, right? But maybe we don't need to have extended clips or even clips that go up to 20 shots, okay? If you have an AR-15 and you don't kill the deer with the first 19, maybe it's bound to live. Okay, and I want to be clear. I was in the military. I handled weapons. I don't own a gun. I don't own a gun because I'd use it, right? And it wouldn't be for anything noble. Well, it would be in my eyes. Also, this chair beneath me is total dog shit. I apologize. I know it's all squeaky and all that stuff. I had to take my headphones off again because I forget that I'm not in a new studio. But I'm 42 years old. And all I can remember are massacres, right? Columbine, Sandy Hook, the college where the student came in and killed a bunch of people, Vegas. How many people not even in the world, fuck the rest of the world, how many people in the United States have to die at the hands of these individuals? And it can't, let me give it all a branch here, okay? My first wife, she left me, right? Well, she told me during therapy we were getting a divorce, which was fine, but she left, okay? Didn't like the way I talked to her, upset about this, that, and the other thing. Then this sounds so fucking terrible, but fuck it, I don't care. When my second wife left me and had several of the same complaints, I started to think, what is the one consistent between these two things? Is it the individual on that side, or is it me as the individual? And I'm the one that's forced to change. So when we have all these people from all different socioeconomic, political, spiritual, hereditary backgrounds, but the one consistent is the access to guns that they've purchased most of the time legally, why is it that we're not addressing this? Why is it that thoughts and prayers are enough, or are supposed to be enough, for when you go look in these parents' eyes and you say, I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Castleman, but your son or daughter was murdered today because 10 years after Sandy Hook Elementary, we've learned nothing, and we've done nothing at its core to address this problem, nor will we do anything to ever address this problem. We'll huff and we'll puff, and then we'll move the fuck on. How many people are enough? Give me the number. Do we just need to have, God forbid, massacre after massacre? Does this need to happen? Do 14 kids need to be killed every single day? For what? A week? A month? A year? What is the breaking point? What is the point where America goes, enough? The juice is no longer worth the squeeze. Not saying you can't have guns, not saying you can't have weapons. You can, totally. Maybe we decrease the bullets. Maybe we decrease the rounds. Maybe we decrease the type of weapons that you can buy. Well, Tim, that means our military will have stronger weapons than us. Yes, that's why they're the military. That's why they're put through extensive training, recertifications, requalifications. You get it. Trained professionals, they hope. What the fuck, America? Left, right, indifferent. I don't give a fuck. 14 kids are dead today. Dead. For the crime of going to school. Pretty sure school lets out this week in most of Texas. So if they had just been able to survive going to school for 4 more days, it would have been summer. They could be out there playing, laughing with their friends, going and seeing movies, sleeping until noon, eating horrible food, playing video games, talking, texting, getting into trouble, door ding ditches or whatever. Door ditch where you hit the doorbell and then you fucking run off, Maybe they fell in love this summer. Maybe they were going to find the love of their life. Maybe they were going to find a passion that they were interested in. But none of that shit is possible because they're fucking dead for the crime of going to school. That's what killed these kids. They went to a protected place. Well, I bet if all these teachers had guns, no. We don't need more guns. If I'm an addict, I'm like, hey, I'm really addicted to heroin. They're not like, well, Tim, the cure is we'll just give you more heroin and then you'll stop using. They go, hey, you can't have these. This is why we can't have nice things. It's just fucking horrific, man. I don't think I've ever felt the way I feel about our country today. And a lot of that is my personal strife, I've had my run-ins with the quote-unquote legal incompetence system, right? So yeah, I'm a little bit jaded, because you think you've done everything to protect yourself, and then the court system goes, yeah, well, you didn't. Or, yeah, you did, but you didn't tell us about it, or whatever the issue is. So I have my own bias when it comes to waiting for law enforcement, or not even law enforcement, waiting for the legal system to handle this. I mean, we're about to turn back Roe versus Wade after 50 years of law. My body, my choice when it comes to a shot, but not when it comes to if I want to carry a child to term. I'm not going to wear no mask. I'm not going to get no shot. I'm going to ignore, I'm lions, not sheep, and I'm going to ignore this and ignore that. And yet these are the people that are fucking and want to recreate and reproduce. It's always those families that have like 5 fucking kids. And you go to the guy, it's like, I pay my taxes, I don't own a firearm, like a assault rifle, I don't beat, it's all the quote unquote people that are doing it. I don't want to say right, but it's an idiocracy. The smart ones aren't having kids, the dumb ones are just like, put it in him, this baby's for Trump 2024 load coming in, what the fuck, America? And you know what? Biden, I'll hit them both. Biden has been a terrible fucking president. He came in with a long list of shit he was going to do. He's done none of it. He hasn't canceled student loan debt. The minimum wage hasn't raised in 13 fucking years. We got 8% inflation right now. Gas is over $4, first time nationally in the history of it. It's only going up. We're fighting a proxy war with Ukraine so that Ukraine will fuck with Russia without us having to send our troops. But we get fucked in the ass at home for it. And we didn't say we want to go fight a proxy war. Why am I paying $2 more a gallon per gas for a war that I didn't even vote for us to go in? Nor what the fuck are we doing there? We can't spend $28 million to hire more people to work at the FDA to inspect factories to get baby food made. But we can give $40 billion to Ukraine in humanitarian aid, even though they only asked for 33. So we just topped it up $7 billion more so that we can support another country. But when it comes to our country, we can't. And watch. this fucking podcast will be long gone by the time you listen to it. But do the research. See if I'm right on this. World leaders are going to come out. The president's going to make a statement. The governor's going to everyone's going to get up there and get their time in front of the camera and, oh, precious Lord and Jesus. Say fucking jacking off to the NRA magazine before they get off there. The only good thing is the NRA appears to be fucked, and hopefully they continue to be fucked. Because if they were as strong as they were 10 years ago, think about that. They were so strong 10 years ago, they're undefeated. These lobbying groups, right? The gun manufacturers. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas. Oh, our thoughts and prayers are fervently with the first responders and the families and all that. Really? Is that why you got $350,000 in financial support from gun manufacturers? You're the number one receiver by lobbying efforts and income from, donations, not income. But you're the guy that is going to be in charge of changing some shit. It's just, I don't have kids. I don't see, how does today not change us forever as a country? How does the deal in Las Vegas not change us as a country? How did Sandy, seriously, what is it going to take for us to say enough? To where the will of the people overrides the will of the elected government who are there to better and benefit themselves and themselves only. By the way, I saw a guy, well, if the teachers were trained and armed, I'm a teacher. I'm here to do PE. I'm not here to kill little Rodrigo at 50 yards. I mean, what do I get? Bonus pay for that? Do I get hazard pay like they do in the military? I don't get it. How much is enough? It's just fucking sad, man. It's just fucking sad. And I wish I was in the military during 9/11. 9/11, the tower, they struck the towers while we were in our staff meeting. My wife number one called and was like, hey, they struck the towers. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but y'all better watch TV. I felt we as a country came together. We as a country were like, fuck this. You're attacking America? The fuck you are. And we did what we felt like we had to do. I'm not even going to get into all of that. When COVID hit, I felt like it was every man for themselves. Here's why you're wrong. Here's why I'm wrong. Here's why they're wrong. Here's why everyone else is wrong but me. You politicize this shit, and you take out the humanitarian aspect of it and the humanistic element of it, and just being a good person. Again, I want you to have your guns. I just don't want you to be able to kill 16 people effortlessly. That's all. That's all. That's my only request. Have your guns, have your bullets, have your round, do whatever you want to do. You can shoot 5 people at a time. Then you got to reload. Fine. We'll give you 7 shots, but then you got to reload. Well, what the fuck, America? Last night, totally switching topics now, because if I keep on this, I'm going to lose everybody. And guys, this isn't my usual slant, okay? I try to keep my mouth, I unsuccessfully try to keep my mouth shut about this shit, but this is fucking ridiculous. This is absolutely fucking ridiculous, and I can't believe we're doing this again. And I can't believe, I don't even know the shooter's name. I don't give a fuck about learning about any of this, because no matter how much I study, no matter how much I learn about the situation, no matter what reports come out, no matter what, I know fundamentally nothing is going to change. We just had 10 people murdered in that supermarket a couple weeks back. I think it was Baltimore. Please forgive me. I don't even know where it was located at. And I saw the video, by the way, at least the first part of it. Dude just pulls up to the gas station and to the grocery store, starts opening fire. And when he sees a white person he's about to shoot, he apologizes. Oh, sorry, you're white. I think he says, oh, sorry. In other news, it stormed and rained like a motherfucker here last night. I stayed up watching it till 6, 7 a.m. My sleep schedule's all off. I've had an emotional fucking week. Turns out that maybe, my podcast listening and addiction to new information is Not just because I want a wide breadth of knowledge. It's because maybe I'm not letting whatever's inside kind of bubble up. It's like, oh, we'll keep this thing down and static. So if you ever want, you're like, oh, I don't understand what you mean, Tim. Okay, do this, okay? Not tomorrow. Whenever you can, find the time. Make the time. Don't find it. Make the fucking time. I want you to sit, complete silence for 30 minutes. No phone, no music, no book, no TV, nothing. You and your fucking thoughts. I did that earlier this week. I was like, oh man, I'll make it, I bet I could make it the rest of the day. I made it an hour and a half. 90 minutes. And like the Beverly Hillbillies, up came a bubbling crude. Also Mondays are therapy days, so those normally, we're moving the plates, we're shifting the tectonic plates, we're, having an earthquake. I mean, all this stuff is in motion. So I'm sure that's playing into some of this, and I'm not saying other countries are better or worse, I don't want to pick up and move to another country. I'd much rather stay here and make a difference and make a change, but that shit just isn't going to happen, I don't think. I don't know what the future holds for this country. I don't know what the future holds for me. I just don't fucking know, man. Yeah, I just don't know. What are we, like 18 minutes or something like that? You know what? I'm going to call it on this one. I'm just going to make this a standalone little one. It's simple. It's easy. I mean, what the fuck? Fucking 14 kids dead. Nothing's going to change. The will of the people is drowned out by the will of the corporations and the lobbyists. And it's just fucking sad, man. It's just sad that the greatest country in the world has all these problems. Oh, in other news, I'm banned on Facebook for a week because apparently when you call someone human trash, Facebook doesn't like that and you get 7 days to sit out and think about your opinion. Also saw a viral video of Charles Barkley. Some fans were going at him and he basically stopped and said, now y'all knock it off or when I get done with this show, I'm going to go out and I'm going to fuck your mama and I'll call you and tell you about it. And of course, then I had to go down a Charles Barkley rabbit hole. He's like, oh, I don't have social media because you come after me, I'm going to have to say something. And I'm certainly not, skills, accomplishment, or anything like that. But I get where Charles Barkley's coming from because it's hard for me not to, I'm actually kind of glad I'm banned on Facebook right now. I can't comment because it would be a problem, especially when these, fucking idiots pop up. They're like, it's my body, my choice when it comes to the shot, but I'll tell you what to do with your body and make your choices for you when it comes to your, It's like, well, wait a minute. Hold on. I saw this cop bitching about, well, it sure went from, do what the government tells you to my body, my choice when it comes to abortion. And I wrote back and I was like, yeah, aren't you mandatorily vaccinated through your job? Because you are. If you're a public, like a first responder, there's I believe there's government ordinances in effect and mandates and shit where it's like, hey, you need to do that. Not to mention, if you Google my body, my choice when it comes to vaccine, there's like 1 billion photos of people posting up. We're all just yelling at each other while the corporations and the politicians just nod and go, yeah, and just don't do shit, right? We'll talk about this. We'll fucking have a committee. We'll do an exploratory this or that, We'll poll our people. We'll whatever the fuck it may be. But at the end of the day, we don't want to make changes. We don't want to fuck this up. It's just, yeah, man. It's fucking sad. I have a lot I want to talk about, but I'm going to do a whole different episode for that because I want this to kind of be a standalone thing. If this wasn't your thing, don't worry. This isn't how I go all the time. Even this podcast ain't going to do shit except piss some of you guys off. I'll never listen to him again because he has an alternative opinion to mine. Well, that seems like a great way to learn from each other. I'm not religious, so understand that when I say this in this context. I pray for our country. I hope that this somehow, some way will lead to a fundamental change where we as a country can look at each other and go, hey, we got this one right. 15 funerals next week for 14 kids that should have been being fucking kids and enjoying the never-ending summer that we got as children. And now, unfortunately, they're at eternal rest because we as a country lack the balls to force our politician to do what the will of the people is versus what the will of the corporations are. Shame on both the left and the right and everyone involved who has not done something about this. Shame on Joe Biden if he doesn't come out and do something from the presidential pulpit. Shame on our elected officials, both from the left and the right, if they don't do everything they can to protect our children. It is not more guns. It is not more people with guns. If you didn't like this episode, don't worry, you probably won't hear another one like this for a while. If you did, that's awesome. As always, feel free to leave a comment, rate, review, subscribe. You guys know how to do all that shit. You're adults. Fuck, man. Just absolute fuck. What the fuck, man? I'll see y'all next time.